Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you all are excited to join us for today's session. Okay, so it's 10:03 here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm Sandra Showomi. I'll be your facilitator for today's training. And with me on the call, I have Judith Lokosu. She's going to be our moderator. And you'll be seeing her right there in the comment section. Yeah. So if you have questions, whatever observations, you have, you can just drop it right there in the comment section. She will be there to attend to you. So if you know you are just joining us, please do well to also share this training with your friends, your colleague, your partners, so that they can also join us, before we start. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at staying productive online. Staying productive online. So in case you join us, you can do well to introduce yourself in the comment section. Tell us where you're joining us from, your name, and maybe the kind of business that you do. I would welcome you guys to the session. So just do well to introduce yourself in the comment section. Wow, before we start, at least let me see one person. Can you all hear me? Judy, confirm that you can see and hear me, because I think MTN network has been really bad since yesterday. So I want to be sure that everyone can hear me. Before I start, can everyone hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay. All right, so we're going to be looking at staying productive online. We have 4 persons here, but I'm not seeing any introduction in the comment section. Can you guys introduce yourself, please? If you are here with us, please introduce yourself in the comment section. All right, so we're going to be looking at how staying productive online, right? And we have 3 agendas that we are going to be discussing this morning. First is set up your remote office, right? And then we will look at how to build a productive work environment. And lastly, we would conclude the session by understanding how to manage and maintain your well-being, right? So these are the agendas that we are going to be looking at in today's session. Now, there's a free bootcamp available from Google, and it's an opportunity that I always advise, every business owner to jump on, right? So please, if you are here to sign up, ensure that you sign up, for the Google Hustle Academy, right? At g.co/Hustle Academy. The link will be dropped right there in the comment section. So if you have a small business or you are ready to also scale your business, kindly do well, to sign up for this bootcamp, right? So please ensure it's a free boot camp. You are not paying a dime, and trust me, it's a session that you do not also want to miss. So before we start, right, you're gonna be seeing questions like this, pop up on our screen. So I'm gonna be asking questions, and I want every one of us to, do well to drop our answers right there in the comment section. So, how has COVID-19 impacted your role? How has COVID-19 impacted your role? Anybody? Oh, hi, Comfort. Comfort from Abuja, Nigeria. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Comfort. So, Comfort, how has COVID-19 impacted your role? How has COVID-19 impacted your role? I would like to hear from Comfort and any other person on the call. How has COVID-19 impacted your role? How has COVID-19 impacted your role? Okay, so while I wait for responses, I would just, continue right into the session. All right, so the first agenda we are going to be looking at is setting up your remote office. Just like I am in my house too, I work from home, so this is my own remote office, right? So setting up your own remote office. Now, what is remote working? So remote working is, a working style that allows professionals to work outside of a traditional office environment. The norm where you go to the office, every single day, you either you drive to the office or you jump cab to the office, but it's different from the traditional means, right? So you can work from anywhere, at your own comfort. And it is based on the concept that work does not need to be done in a specific place to be executed successfully, right? So you have the ability to work outside, of a corporate office. You could be from home, it could be in a coffee shop, and all of that. Now, where can people work remotely? And like I just mentioned, you can work remotely from home. You can work, in a coffee shop, co-working space, in a library, anywhere, that feels comfortable for you, right? That feels comfortable to get that work, to get that job executed. Do you understand? So that is where you can, that is remote work for anybody. Do you understand? Now, what do you need to work remotely? What do you need to work remotely? Anybody wants to share? What do you need to work remotely? What do you need to work remotely? Can you hear me? What do you need to work remotely? I made huge sales during COVID. That's awesome. Okay, Judith is saying my network is quite bad. So can if Comfort can hear me now, maybe and Judith, maybe you guys should also let me know. But Comfort is saying I made huge sales during COVID-19. Awesome. That's awesome. That means you were able to, position your business, before COVID happened, and you were able to get your products right to your customers. That's awesome. All right. So what do you need to work remotely? I also want to hear from you. What do you need to work remotely? What do you need to work remotely? All right. So while I wait for responses, let's see. Now, what do you need to work remotely? There are few key elements that you will need to work remotely. I think we mentioned, some of them, right in for when we started the session. Now, one is dedicated workspace, a space that is separate, a space to separate work from home. So it could be in your home, right? But maybe a dedicated space right there in your home, to work. Just the way I am. I have a space in my home where I'm communicating to you right now. Do you understand? Then you have the devices, right? Technology that helps you to connect, collaborate, and work remotely. So you have your laptop, your internet, your what's it called, your phone, all those devices that are needed, right? And lastly, you have the internet, a stable internet connection to work effectively. So these are the things that you need to work remotely, right? Now, let's talk about how to create a workspace inside your home environment now. So the first thing is avoid the bed or couch. Right. So I know it can be comfortable to stay on the bed, on the couch, but trust me, that sometimes that you will not even know when this sleep will just come and you just sleep off, right? So it's better to avoid staying on the bed or on the couch, right? So just have this workspace, where you have a very set up a table and chair. You have your table and chair, that is comfortable for you. Then make sure the space is comfortable. I already mentioned that. Then consider your posture, right? Consider your posture. How comfortable are you? How well are you seated? Do you understand? Your position. Do you get? So these are how to create your own workspace. Now, the physical equipment that you might need, a phone, I mentioned that earlier, to answer calls or to communicate with your teammates via chat, right? Then you have the computer, can be working on multiple documents, you have video calls and conferences, and all of that. And most laptops comes with a webcam, right? So you have the opportunity to, to show yourself via video calls, right? And you have your notepad, your notebook, to keep, to jot things down, to jot ideas down and all of that, right? So these are physical equipment that you might need. Let me also check that I'm still with you guys on the call. Okay. Laptop or good phone. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, thank you so much, Comfort, for that. All right, so let's continue. Now, let's talk about how to get stable power. Now, to be productive, you have to get stable power to charge your devices. I'm sure you agree with me. First, you need to make sure your generating set is working. You already know where we are and how our country is. We don't have stable power supply or 24/7 power supply. And you never can tell when, power would go off, right? So you need to, get your generating set working, right? Get fuel as well. Then you can also try solar power devices and inverters. If you have the money, you can try all of that too. And power banks for your devices. I use a very big power bank, right? Very, very big power bank. You can charge my laptop, you can carry my my ring lights and also charge my phone. Do you understand? So you can get those very big power banks that can also charge your laptops when there's no power, right? Now, let's explain the importance of getting a good internet connection and how to, go about checking internet speed, right? So among the most basic necessities for working, it's a stable internet connection that is very, very paramount, right? First, you need to choose the right ISP. Choose the right ISP. Then also consider a substitute stroke alternative ISP. Yes, I know they say that, but then again, sometimes when you're in an environment where maybe it's just one that can actually work. So where I am currently, only MTN works very well for me. So if MTN decides that okay, their network isn't working well today, I don't have an alternative. Do you understand? But then again, it's also good to get a substitute, right? Then find the right router, plug into Wi-Fi, test and compare internet speed, right? So you can always try different internet connections to see which works best for you. Get a substitute, test them, compare which one is better, before you settle for any, right? Then my next question is, what are the challenges of working remotely? What are the challenges of working remotely? Anybody wants to share? What are the challenges of working remotely? What are the challenges of working remotely? What are the challenges of working remotely? Anybody? What are the challenges of working remotely? So I'll just continue while I wait for responses. Okay. Challenges of working remotely. One, so there are many challenges of working remotely. You have loneliness, right? So loneliness is one of the major drawbacks, of remote work, and especially for extroverts, people that are, that are very social. They talk, especially in the work environment. Now, when you now go back to working remotely, probably working from home, you don't have colleagues to talk to, you don't have anybody to talk to, and even if you want to talk to them, it has to be via calls, and you know how calls can be, so it's different from when they are around you. You want to chat and all of that. So working remotely, this is one of the challenge. You might feel, loneliness, lack of social interaction, right? Then second is self-discipline. Now you need dedication, right? You need to be disciplined. You need to have self-control to avoid losing your momentum, right, while working from home. So you need all of those dedication, all of those discipline, right? And don't convince yourself that a single YouTube video during your working hours won't do any harm. You can, or probably go on Instagram and start to go through Instagram, content and all of that. You might just be distracted. Do you understand? So that's one major challenge also. And thirdly, we have no employee benefit, right? So you won't have employee benefit like health insurance or retirement for no, not necessarily anyways, depending on the organization. For us, we have our employee benefits. That wasn't taken from us. But there are times that maybe when you work in a corporate organization, you go to the office, there are times maybe they give lunch. So lunch might be something that you would miss, when you work from home. You might not get access to lunch anymore. Do you understand? Then add to switch off, right? So when working from home, one of the challenges is it's very difficult to switch off. You get carried away with work. You get what's the word now? You get so into work that you forget every other thing that you're meant to do, right? So it's very, very difficult to switch off, and that's why it's important that you take breaks, right, when working from home. Then lastly is missing out, right? So you can miss out on stuffs. You're just working on your laptop, meetings and meetings and meetings upon meetings. Do you understand? So you can miss out on so many other things, maybe hangouts and all of that. All right, so another question is, what are the benefits of remote working? What are the benefits of remote working? What are the benefits of remote working? Hello, Scholastic from Cotonou. Thank you so much, Scholastic, for joining us. What are the benefits of remote working? Exactly, you are left alone. Correct. Thank you so much, Comfort. What are the benefits of remote working? Anybody wants to give me an answer? What are the benefits of remote working? Judith, maybe you should also give me a response. What are the benefits of remote working? What are the benefits of remote working? Okay, so quickly, let's look at benefits of working remotely for employees. For one is flexibility, right? So sometimes there are things that you need to be at home for, right? So you can do other things at home, whether it's waiting in for repair service, or maybe you have a package coming in, maybe a delivery coming in. Working from home just allows you the flexibility to deal with the unexpected. Do you understand? Right. So another one again is no commuting. You will not be jumping bus or jumping cabs or maybe driving. Do you understand? You can just wake up, have your shower, dress up, get yourself ready for the day, and come to your remote your dedicated space for that. Do you understand? So you're not commuting, right? You're not going from home to work and work to home. Do you understand? You can be even right there on your kitchen table, and you can be working from there as long as it's comfortable, right? And you also have time with family. That's another good one. You can chat with your brothers, you can chat with your sister even while you're working, right? As long as it's during your break hours, it's good, right? So you can have time for family and less distraction. So you have less distraction. Initially, when you have a dedicated space, it's just you in your office there, doing your work, so you can have less distraction, right? And lastly, high morale, right? Remote employees are notably less stressed and have higher morale than their in-office counterparts. That Well, yes, but then again, it depends on the pressure that comes with it. So there are times that you can be stressed, right? So, but then again, you have high morale, and these are the benefits of working remotely. You know, Okay, so still on benefit of working remotely for businesses, right? So you have reduced overhead costs, right? The cost of securing an office space is is very, very high, especially in major cities like Lagos. Do you understand? Now you can have probably a dedicated room where you can set up your own office, right there in your house. So in order for you to reduce cost, yeah. So another one is greater productivity, right? You can have great productivity, you can have access to a wider pool of talent, right? So by allowing employees to work remotely, employers can hire the best talent while not limiting themselves to geographical restriction. Do you understand? So it just means that you can hire from anywhere as long as they work from home and they give you the best. Do you understand? You get a wider pool of talent, and these are one of the benefits of remote working, right? And then lastly is improved employee retention, right? These are benefits of remote working for businesses. So I'm going to be pausing for questions here. In case you have questions, please do let me know in the comment section. All right. Thank you, Judith. Work flexibility, time with family. Yes. Thank you so much. Any questions? Any questions? It makes one to concentrate. Yes, Judith. Comfort. Yes, very correct. It makes one to concentrate. All right. So since there are no questions, or Comfort, if you have any questions, do let me know right in the comment section. Okay, so I'll just continue the session. Now, let's look at how to build a productive work environment. Now, how to build a healthy personal environment for optimized productivity, why your work environment is important. Now, the quality of your workspace is vital to productivity. One, that you have a designated area, right? So you have, like I mentioned before, have a workspace that is designated for just work. Do you understand? Create that workspace that promotes wellness, and productivity. Do you understand? You could have natural light, your desk position, a very good table and chair, and all of that. The next one is find the right chair for you. Yes, you can get the right chair, that makes you feel comfortable. Do you understand? And next is getting a filing system to organize your life, right? So develop a filing system to keep you in organized. Do you understand? So there's many filing systems that you can even download online. You can check out for them. Use that to organize your daily tasks. Now, looking at the statistics, according to the research study on the effect of work environment on productivity, workplace distraction cut employee productivity by 40% and increased errors by 27%. Did you see that? 40% decrease in productivity due to workplace distractions and 27% increase in errors, right? So we need to, when we are working from home, we need to have less distractions. Do you understand? Whatever is distracting you, try to, find way to eradicate that. Now, how can you minimize distractions? Anybody? How can you minimize distractions? 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 Okay, quickly, let's look at steps to minimize distractions. Okay, the first is let others know your work hours, right? So it's best to communicate your work hours, to your colleagues, to your friends, to your family members, so that, they wouldn't come, probably they want to come and chat or something. Do you understand? They know that at that point in time, you are very busy. Do you understand? So always good to communicate your work hours. Then do one thing at a time. I know that there are times where with remote work, there can be a lot to do with deadlines. Do you understand? But it's also very important that you start with one, complete, then take the other. Do not, want to you do not want to start to run all of the tasks at the same time. So do one thing at a time. Then avoid TV and household distractions, right? Do not watch TV. So you need to avoid TV because you never can tell, well, you just get carried away and the work you're supposed to do, you wouldn't complete it for that day. Do you understand? So avoid TV and household distractions. They put away all pets, right? So I don't know about that, but if you have pets, dogs, cats, and all of those, put them away. They can be a distraction to you, and take regular breaks, right? So you can take breaks at intervals, right? So take regular breaks. Another question is how can you improve productivity within teams? How can you improve productivity within teams? Anybody? How can you improve productivity within teams? How can you improve productivity within teams? Okay, now the first is project management. So remote team members need to be able to plan and collaborate on commitments, deliverables, and tasks, right? So you need to be able to track the flow of work from start to finish. And then again, you have project management tools that would help you do that. You have Trello, you have Asana, you have Basecamp, you have Mural. All of those are project management tools that would help you track, your workflow from start to finish, right? The first is establish vision and deliverables. You need to be able to establish what exactly you are trying to achieve on that project. You get, and what are the deliverables that are needed to be done. You get, and next you need to establish logistics for team communication, right? Establish logistics for team communication, promote visibility and transparency of all work. Very important that you do that. Then track the quality and status of project. Yes, you can track the quality and status of project. Are we done? Where are we with this project? Are we almost done? Do you understand? So you can track all of that and identify and address bottlenecks. So this is for project management. Now, let's reinforce the importance of communication when working remotely. Now, 70% of workplace mistakes are due to poor communication. And you also have to know that communication plays a fundamental role in our daily lives, right? So it is very good, for us to communicate, and good communication comes naturally. But for others, it can be very hard, to articulate their thoughts and feelings in conversations, right? So good communication is very important when it comes to remote work within teams. Okay, so for general communications, right, you have Slack. We use Slack within our office as well. So you can use Slack, Google Hangouts. You also have Gmails, to communicate, send emails and all of that. So strong communication is integral to business success. So email for more formal conversations, instant messaging platforms for fast conversations, and lastly, you have collaboration tools for project work. And there's so many, like we just mentioned some collaboration tools. You have Asana, you have Trello. Those tools are very good for collaboration within teams, right? So good communication is very important, within teams. Very, very integral. Now, let's see how to set up rules to communicate effectively. Now, in order for communication to be effective, you need to set rules, right? You need to set rules. Very, very important that you set rules. First, you need to communicate clearly, right? So then you can choose, maybe communication channels and ensuring that everyone, knows how to use them. It's very essential for that to happen, right? And, another thing again with communication is, like I said before, there are communication tools that would also help. So if you decide within Teams that you want to use WhatsApp, why not? You can use WhatsApp to communicate. You can use Slack to communicate. You can also use Google Meet if you decide that, okay, you want to meet virtually. You can use Google Meet to communicate as well. Then think about the type of message and context, right? Think about the kind of message and context. So think about the kind of things that would be communicated in the channel. Do you understand? Then respond promptly. It's always good to respond. Not that when your team member sends you a message and it takes you forever to respond to them. Do you understand? You can also set deadline reminders and all of that. Then set and role model the guidelines, right? So these are, rules to communicate effectively within teams, right? Within even you and your staffs, if you have staffs. Do you get? Now, let's look at video meetings and call. Why strong communication is integral to business success, right? Now, the first is connect teams working remotely. So video meetings and calls enable teams to communicate and collaborate in real time, right? So you can connect teams working remotely, you can improve levels of communication, you can as well boost collaboration. Do you understand? So this is so you have Zoom, you have Google Meets, you have Microsoft Teams, you have Skype, you have WhatsApp, right? So these are tools that would also help you, in terms of going virtual. So if you have virtual meetings, you can use any of these, tools, to have that. So let's look at Google Meet. So Google Meet helps to keep your team connected with enterprise-grade video conferencing, right? Built on Google's robust and secure global infrastructure. So Meet is included with G Suite and G Suite for education. So I love Google Meet again because it's also embedded with Gmail. So you can as well see all of the meetings, lined up for you. And again, Google Meet is also synced with the Google Calendar, right? So you see all of the events, all of the meetings that you have, right? So Google Meet is also a very good tool that you can leverage on. Then next is Zoom. So Zoom is an application that can be downloaded either on your computer or mobile device. Now you can request a demo and even download it for free, right? Then you can also use Zoom to host or join meetings. You can also use Zoom to also host webinars. You get? And up to 100 people can join an online class and meeting in a free model. In the free model. And again, if you decide that you want the advanced model, you could pay an amount and get access to you will get access to, I think, about 500 persons that will be able to join your online class or your meetings and all of that. All right, so for Microsoft Teams enables businesses to collaborate and communicate with team members across the world, right? So you can create teams and channels to organize your department. You can utilize the chat and video call functions to boost communication. You can share documents and collaborate with ease. So all of them almost have the same kind of function depending on what you want to use them for. And lastly, then we have Skype. So with Skype, with the Skype video chat app, you have access to a variety of innovative features, right? So you have immersive full screen video. You can send chats, invites to anyone, and you can also blur your background. So even with Google Meet, with Zoom, and all the other apps, you can also blur your background, right? And you have different background templates that you can also use. And then again, remote workers can work more efficiently. Now, how to run effective meetings. Let's look at how to run effective meetings. So steps to run effective meetings. One is set agendas. Now, these agendas would help you to frame discussions and the wider sessions. So it's good to set agendas. What exactly are you trying to achieve? All of the things that you need to discuss. Ensure that agendas are being set. Then next is consider your tone of voice. Now, if working remotely, people can't see your body language. I'm sure that you understand that. They can't see your body language, so they only hear your voice, right? So you have to ensure that your tone of voice is very polite, right? And make sure that your intonation is good and you're expressive. Do you understand? Then next is encourage using cameras. So you know that because we work remotely, we don't get to see each other, right? So it's very important that we use cameras, to connect with each other, make things more personal and boost non-verbal communication. Then lastly, be timely. Do not leave people waiting on the calls, right? Do not leave people waiting on calls. And be punctual as you would for an in-person meeting. Do you understand? So you have to be timely. Just okay. So next one is, let's look at the next slide. Video conferencing etiquette. So steps to run effective meetings, right? The first you need to do, you need to prepare yourself, right? Because you are going to be talking in front of people where you're going to be communicating whatever agendas that you have set for the meeting. So you need to prepare yourself. So whatever you need to do to get yourself there, you need to prepare yourself. Then next is dress appropriately. It's important that you dress appropriately. Don't turn up in I don't want to mention some words, but don't turn up in words that would make you look inappropriate. Do you understand? So dress appropriately, because it will also help you get in the mindset of work. Do you understand? Then consider your lightning. I'm using one here. If I off my lightning now, you see that the video quality is not really going to be good. So you have to consider, lighting. You can invest in getting a ring light. Do you understand? Then next, consider your background. What sort of background do you have? If your background isn't so good, you could get maybe something white, use a white background, or just maybe a very good wall at your back. Do you understand? And consider the kind of colors that you would use, right? The colors you wear could also be in contrast with the environment. Do you understand? Then also consider your audio. Can people hear you clearly? Right? And also remember to mute your mic if you are not speaking, especially if there's a lot of background noise. Do you understand? So these are video conferencing etiquettes. These are things that on a norm everybody should know. Right. So next is top tips for collaborating effectively. First, equip your team with the right tools. So whatever collaborating tools that are there that would help your team work effectively or efficiently, equip your team with those, right? Then make project management easier. We already mentioned some project management tools that would also make it easy for you to track workflow, right? So you make project management easier. Then next, make document sharing easy and accessible. That's why I usually mention that I love the old Google tools, the Google Doc, the Google Sheets, because they are live documents, right? So I can work with my team on those documents, yeah, and be able to track workflow. Excuse me. See whatever anyone is writing on the document, and be able to share easy and be able to access them. Do you understand? Then also encourage collaboration within departments. It's very good to encourage collaborations within department, and also prioritize company culture. Very important to do so. Now, final top tips for productivity. Yeah, always over communicate. Always over communicate. Communicate with your team regularly and keep them in the loop. Very important. And unlike an office environment where working remotely, your team members can't even see what tasks you are doing. Do you understand? So it's always very important that you over communicate and always keep them in the loop. Then next, you have to be disciplined, right? Don't fall into temptations. Remote work is not a vacation or paid leave, right? So since there's no supervisor looking over your shoulders to sleep, chill, or maybe to even watch your favorite series, I am Telemundo and all Z World and all of that, right? You have to ensure that you are disciplined, yeah. And again, don't turn off your phone because you are working from home. You never can tell well when your manager wants to communicate with you. So it will be very wrong for you to turn off your phone, and then you now ignore communications from your boss and colleagues, and then start to give excuses. Do you understand? So it's very important that you do not turn off your phone. Next, have your tools ready for work. Now, for most people, they some of them just stand up and start to get ready for work, but then again they are not prepared for the day's tasks. Do you understand? So it's very important that you have your tools ready for work. Make sure you have the tools that are needed, to work remotely. All the tools needed to work remotely. And even if you don't have most of them, or probably they are not working, it's very important that you communicate with your boss or with your manager. Then lastly, find your booster and use it. What's that thing that gets you into the work mode? Ensure that you use them, right? If it's a playlist, is it energy drink, is it coffee, is it snacking, whatever it is, find your booster and use it. So I'm going to be posting for questions here again. If you have questions, do let me know. If you have questions, do let me know. Any questions? Comfort, this is very interesting and educating topic. Is there a playback? Yes, you can always come back with the link you use in, joining the session. You can always watch the videos. Okay, so if there are questions, please do well to drop your questions. Well, please, I would like to learn more on how to go about it. You can always come back to the session. Okay, Judy, please kindly help her with that. But then again, the link that was sent to you to join the session is what you can always click on, to come back and watch the session here on YouTube. Do you understand? Okay. Now, lastly, let's look at the last agenda: manage and maintain your well-being. Manage and maintain your well-being. You would agree with me that even if you work remotely, you need to be able to manage and maintain your well-being. Now, why is it important to manage your well-being? Anybody wants to share? Why is it important to manage your well-being? Why is it important to manage your well-being? Anybody? Why is it important to manage your well-being? Okay, now let's quickly run through the importance of managing your well-being. First is impacts. It impacts your overall health, right? You are healthier and fitter when managing your well-being, right? Next is it leads to greater productivity. You are more motivated, you are more focused, you work better and more quickly, right? The next is it increases your resilience. You can overcome obstacles head on. You don't crumble in the face of challenges and setbacks, right? So these are important. And lastly, it boosts your morale and level of happiness. You feel more engaged, supported and happy, and this is a huge impact on your working life, right? So these are important, to managing your well-being. Now, next question is, what can you do to manage your well-being? What can you do to manage your well-being? Work-life balance. Yeah. What can you do to manage your well-being? All right. So let's quickly explain the importance of taking regular breaks and how to do so. So avoid overworking, right? Take regular breaks. First, you need to set up reminders to take breaks. You would agree with me that sometimes there can be lots of pressure and lots of deadlines, lots of tasks to meet, especially when working from home, right? So, and that is why it is important that you take, regular breaks throughout the day. Now, be clear with your team when you are leaving. For example, you can always go, or maybe if it's WhatsApp you use, you can go on WhatsApp to make that communication or announcement telling them that you are on break, or maybe on Slack. Do you understand? And ensure that you actually shut down your computer and just go off, take a break. Then next is turn off notification when on break. Yeah, because it can, if you don't turn off notification, you can get pulled back into work. So it's better that you turn off notification when on break and schedule in an activity like taking a walk, riding a bike, or going to the gym at the end of the day. So this is how to avoid overworking and ensure that you take regular breaks. Next, be ready for the culture shift. Now, to help you embrace the shift, consider the following. First, trust your overall performance, right? Trust your overall performance. Then next, you need to rethink the concept of work, right? Rethink the concept of work. Understand your commitments, your level of commitment to the organization that you work with, and even your team members. Do you understand? And then your tax as well. So understand your commitment and be very patient. Be very, very patient. It's good to be patient. You never can tell. There are times that your team members, you can maybe probably you're a team lead, or maybe you are the CEO and your staff, maybe one of your staff, you ask that person to do something. And then again, the person has been really slow with that task. And you always go back to the person, have you done this? Have you done this? And the person is really slow with it. Do you understand? You can, just lose your cool in any given time. Do you get it? So it's important that you are very, very patient with your team members and also your staff. Next, managing your overall well-being. First, exercise regularly. Encourage exercise within your team. Yes, encourage exercise within your teams. Then next, view mental health as seriously as physical health. This is really, and mental health is one topic that people don't even really talk about. We just look at our physical well-being. I'm like, okay, I'm fine, but then mentally we are not okay. Do you understand? So it's important that we look at our mental health and see, where we are with that. Do you understand? Then check in with your manager or team regularly. Check in with your manager or team regularly, right? Then also separate your professional and personal lives. Yes. Encourage workers to separate work and private life and organize in-person social meetups. Yeah, we do that within our organization as well. We organize in-person social meetups, hangouts and all of that. Okay, so I'm going to be pausing for questions right here again. If you have questions, please do let me know. Any questions? So I'm going to be waiting for questions. Comfort, do you have questions? Any questions for me? And Scholastic, do you have any questions? Any questions at all? Any questions at all? So if there are no questions, let me also know in the comment section that, oh, I do not have any question. I'll be good. I do not have any question. If you don't have any question, just tell me I don't have. Oh, Kende, no questions for now. Thank you, Kende. Come for, what about you? Any questions? Because I know she joined from the beginning, so I want to know that we are good. Okay, since there are no questions, so what are our next steps? So we've been able to learn, the importance of remote working and what the necessary things that we need to know. And the next step is, I call this particular platform the Google University. It's where you can take courses, and even also get certified. So you can sign up at learndigital.withgoogle.com/digital skills/courses. Right. So the link will be dropped right there in the comment section. Please ensure that you okay, Comfort. Thank you so much. Okay. So ensure that you sign up, for that. And next, free bootcamp available from Google, right? So do you own a small business and ready to scale, right? Like I mentioned at the beginning of the session, this is an opportunity for you to grab. So if you want to scale your business and you own a business, please take advantage of this opportunity. It's a hands-on session, practical sessions, right? So you get the opportunity to talk to a mentor, have discussions with professionals that will help you in case you have maybe questions surrounding your business in scaling. You can ask questions like that, and you can sign up for the Google Hustle Academy at g.co/Hustle Academy. And you can also find us on social media: Facebook, facebook.com/digital skills for Africa, and Twitter, twitter.com/digital skills AF. And on Instagram, instagram.com/digital skills AF. And then you can find us on you can find Impactor on also all of the other social media platforms. All of these links will be dropped right there in the comment section. And please do not forget that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please click on the subscribe button and subscribe. Whenever we have sessions like this, you get notified to join us. Okay. So I don't think there are any questions. So yes, if you really enjoyed the session, you can also let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, was the training, was it impactful? Okay, Alima, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so the links have been dropped, and I also I'm not sure I mentioned the certificate link. Judy, do not forget to also drop the certificate link. Kindly ensure that you sign up for you fill the certificate form so that you get certified. Right, so the link will be dropped right in the comment section now. So kindly look out for it. So I'll just wait. Wow. Yes, Comfort. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, and do have a lovely day.